Imagine leaving your family behind, only to return and find an entire town erased. Homes empty, fires cold, not a single person left alive or dead. No bodies, no battle, no warning. Just one word carved into wood: CROATOAN. This actually happened in 1590, at what would become one of the oldest and most chilling mysteries in American history: the disappearance of the Lost Colony of Roanoke. In 1587, more than 100 English settlers sailed across the Atlantic to start a new life in the New World. Their destination was a small, remote island off the coast of what is now North Carolina. The settlement would become known as the Roanoke Colony. Their leader was John White, an artist and explorer tasked with helping the colony survive in this unfamiliar land. But from the very beginning, the colony struggled. Food was scarce, supplies were limited, and relationships with nearby Native American tribes were tense and unpredictable. Realizing the settlers would not survive without more resources, John White made a difficult decision. He would sail back to England to gather supplies and return as quickly as possible. Before he left, something remarkable happened. His daughter gave birth to a baby girl, Virginia Dare. She became the first English child born in America. White promised his family he would return soon. But history had other plans. While White was in England, Europe erupted into conflict. England was preparing for war with Spain, including the famous naval battle against the Spanish Armada. Because of the war, ships were desperately needed for defense. That meant White couldn't sail back to Roanoke. What should have been a short trip across the Atlantic turned into a delay of nearly 3 years. Finally, in 1590, White secured passage back to the colony. He had spent years worrying about his family, wondering if they had survived. But when his ship reached Roanoke Island, something felt wrong. The settlement was silent. When White stepped onto the shore and walked toward the colony, he found something almost impossible to believe. The entire settlement had been abandoned. Homes still stood, tools and belongings remained, but every single person was gone. There were no signs of battle, no burned buildings, no graves. It was as if the entire population had simply vanished. White and his crew searched desperately for clues. Then they noticed something carved into a wooden post. One single word: CROATOAN. Nearby, the letters CRO were carved into a tree. But there was one detail that confused everyone. Before White had left years earlier, he had agreed on a system with the colonists. If they ever had to leave the settlement because of danger, they would carve a cross into a tree to warn him. But there was no cross. That meant the settlers had likely left by choice. So what happened to the Lost Colony of Roanoke? Many historians believe the word CROATOAN was actually a message. Just south of Roanoke Island lived a friendly Native American tribe on a nearby island called CROATOAN, which is now known as Hatteras Island. The message may have meant the colonists relocated there in search of safety and food. Over the centuries, archaeologists have discovered fragments of English tools, pottery, and weapons in areas connected to Native American settlements. This has led some researchers to believe the colonists may have slowly integrated into local tribes. Their descendants might have lived on for generations, blending cultures until their English origins were forgotten. But not everyone agrees. Some historians believe the settlers attempted to move inland and were later killed during conflicts with hostile tribes. Others believe starvation, disease, or violent encounters wiped them out before they could establish a new home. And there are even theories that Spanish forces destroyed the colony, hoping to eliminate England's presence in the New World. But despite centuries of research, the truth has never been fully proven. What makes the mystery even more haunting is the people who disappeared. Men, women, and children. Families searching for a future, including John White's granddaughter, Virginia Dare, the first English child born in America. White never found his family, and he never discovered what happened to the colonists he left behind. More than 400 years later, the Lost Colony of Roanoke remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in American history. No mass grave, no final message, just a single word, carved into wood. CROATOAN. So what do you think happened to the lost settlers of Roanoke? Did they join a native tribe and quietly disappear into history? Or did something far darker happen in the forests of early America?